Contrary, no. The ayes have it. Money resolution to be moved formally.
I beg to move.
The question is as on the order paper. As many of that opinion say aye.
Aye.
Contrary, no. The ayes have it. Ways and Means resolution to be moved formally.
I beg to move.
The question is as on the order paper. As many of that opinion say aye.
Aye.
Contrary, no. The ayes have it. We now come to motion number 6 relating to business of the House. Leader of the House to move. The question is as on the order paper. As many of that opinion say aye.
Aye.
Contrary, no. The ayes have it. Motion number 7, Parental Leave and Pay Bereavement Bill. Minister to move.
I beg to move.
Thank you, Mr Deputy Speaker. I'm going to be an instruction to the Committee on the Shared Parental Leave and Pay Bereavement Bill that it has the power to make provision in the bill about paternity leave in cases involving the death of the mother of a child, a person with whom a child is or expected to be placed for adoption, or an applicant or intended applicant for a parental order under Section 54 of the Human Fertilisation Embryology Act 2008. The Shared Parental Leave and Pay Bereavement Bill, introduced by the Honourable Member for Ogmore, was supported by the Government at second reading and enjoyed cross-party support from the House, and congratulate him on bringing forward this very important bill, and indeed my honourable friend, the Member for Broxtowe, is earlier campaigning on this particular issue. As it stands, the bill would require regulations to be made which remove the continuity of service requirement for bereaved partners to be eligible for shared parental leave and pay. The aim of the bill is to provide a parental leave entitlement for bereaved fathers. While it currently does this by providing a shared parental leave entitlement, that is not the only or necessarily the best mechanism available. It's also possible to use parental leave to achieve the bill's objective. Happy to give way.
Well, I think there's nobody in the House that doesn't welcome the legislation and the thoughts it's brought forward. But I understand, and maybe the Minister can confirm this, Mr Deputy Speaker, that in Northern Ireland, while I had thought perhaps that it would be law, that it may not be, it will take a process to make that happen. Can the Minister confirm the process that will ensure that those in Northern Ireland can have the same opportunity through the bill that comes through here?
Well, can I thank him for his intervention? Can I just say I'm very happy to work with him to make sure that is the case, and we do everything possible to support those efforts certainly in Northern Ireland. My officials are working to complete a comparative analysis of shared parental leave and paternity leave entitlements to establish which mechanism is best to achieve the bill's intent. To ensure we can use the best available mechanism to deliver this entitlement, we are seeking to broaden the scope of the bill to include paternity leave. In this way, both shared parental leave and paternity leave can be considered in committee. We are, of course, working closely with the Honourable Member for Ogmore on this. What's more, the instruction would enable the committee to consider amendments that would extend the measures to new parents who have their children through other routes, such as adoption or surrogacy arrangements. Where possible and appropriate, the Government aims to afford similar employment rights to adoptive and surrogate parents as we give to birth parents. Employed parents who have their child through adoption or surrogacy arrangements may be entitled to adoption leave and pay or paternity leave and pay. Extending the provision in the bill to new parents who have their children through these other routes would be consistent with the Government's stance on this issue to date. I've discussed this motion with the Honourable Member for Ogmore and am very appreciative of his support on this matter, and I commend the motion to the House.
Question is motion number 7 as on the order paper. Opposition front bench. Justin Malton.
Thank you, Mr Deputy Speaker. I'll just say a few words on the motion today, and I'm sure the Minister will be disappointed if I didn't. But I first of all just want to pay tribute to my honourable friend, the Member for Ogmore, for his work on this issue. And I know members across the House, and I'm pleased to see the honourable Member for Broxtowe here as well, have been working on this with the Minister, and it's very pleasing that we've got to this stage. And I want to commend honourable friend on his success in achieving government support. And I think we can all see this is going to be an important bill to help those going through that awful and unimaginable situation of losing a partner at a time of expecting a child. And I think the Minister's right to look at trying to equalise the provisions across all circumstances, and we look forward to this being hopefully amended in committee to deal with the intentions set out today. So we welcome the motion today, and we wish it all the best. So, okay, yeah.
I thank the honourable member opposite for giving way. When Aaron came to my constituency surgery with his 3-week-old son Tim in his arms, and his wife had died sadly in childbirth, he had been working for a company for less than 6 months, so he wasn't entitled to shared parental leave. So would the Shadow Minister agree with me that this is going to affect a very small number of people a year that will be in that particular situation? So it won't be a significant burden to businesses and to the government, but for the people it affects, it is hugely impactful.
Yeah. Yes, I thank the honourable member for his intervention. He's absolutely right, and we've discussed this with the Minister previously in other debates. It will affect, thankfully, a very small number of people, but the honourable member is absolutely right. For those it will help, it will be an incredibly important advancement on where we are at the moment. So, on that note, I would like to wish the bill the best of success in the rest of its passage.
Chris.
Thank you, Mr Deputy Speaker. Can I just rise in support of the Minister's statement and to also thank him on the record, as it were, for the constructive way in which he and his officials, and dare I say the Government Whip's office, have engaged with me on the passage of this bill, and also to thank my honourable friend, the Shadow Minister, for his support and his team's support in the progress of this bill. As the honourable gentleman for Broxlow said, this doesn't impact many people. No one in this House wants it to impact many people, because nobody should face what many of our constituents have across recent years and long before, that when you become a parent, it should be a moment of joy, not a moment of grief and sorrow. So I welcome the Minister's intervention to broaden the scope. It is hugely important to a small number of people, and I look forward to dealing with the number of amendments that will come forward when we take it into committee at the end of the month.
No. 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 The question is motion number 7 as on the order paper. As many of that opinion say aye? Aye. Contrary, no. The ayes have it. Motion number 8 on British Citizenship Northern Ireland Bill.